Ooh, Crab Champions is finally almost here. If you have never heard of Crab Champions before, what it is a roguelike shooter where you play as a crab. It is developed by Noisestorm, who previously was mostly known as a music producer. He made Crab Rave, you know, the funny meme song with the dancing crabs on the island, except he also made that video because he was learning Unreal Engine, and now he's making an entire game by himself. And I've been waiting for this game for almost 4 entire years now, and now I am finally in the closed beta. Early access comes out on April 1st, so I figured I would give my impressions after playing a bit of the beta. And before I start talking about it, I just want to mention that all the gameplay you see in the background is my first few hours with the game when I was streaming this on YouTube, so the quality is not great, and I'm also not very good at the game since this is my first experiences, and the closed beta is only available on weekends, and I'm recording this on Monday right now, so I unfortunately can't go back in and record anymore, so this is what I got for now. Crab Champions is a loop-based, roguelike, third-person shooter. What that means is you'll begin by choosing a weapon and starting a run. A run is 27 total stages that are 3 sets of 9 stages, each set of stages having a different biome. On the 27th stage you'll fight a boss, after which you can choose to continue looping and keep going with your run, or end it and start a new one. 2 of these stages on each biome lets you visit the shop, where you can heal, buy items, gamble your loot, or maybe even give Tony the shopkeeper a smooch. Other stages consist of islands with objectives ranging from survive the horde of enemies for the set amount of time, to defeat these special enemies with these crazy modifiers. There's also these different colored rocks scattered through the islands, which each have different effects upon breaking them that help you defeat enemies. After clearing a stage, you'll be rewarded with a chest. Here you can choose one of 3 items, which can be things like perks, weapon mods, or health increases. If you're slippery enough to finish a stage without being hit, you'll be rewarded with an extra chest on top of the first one. The main way you'll get stronger in Crab Champions is from perks, weapon mods, grenade mods, and things that you would collect from chests at the end of stages. You can also buy different ones in the shop too. There's also a chance that when you go to the shop or on certain stages, you can find these totems, and sometimes they'll offer you different things, or you can gamble certain things. There's also greed perks, and those are essentially a perk that will make one aspect of your run much better, but will make one aspect of your run much worse, and you can't get rid of the perk once you get it, so it's kind of just a fun gamble. You can maybe get cracked, or you can get owned and just lose right away. And these perks and weapon mods can do things like, oh, your shots are less accurate, but they do more damage. Your shots move in a zigzag pattern and do more damage. Your grenades have a much tighter explosion, but they do more damage. You passively regen health. You regen health from meleeing enemies that are close to you. And then you can have some much crazier mods like legendary perks that like the one that I got when I was playing the beta. It spawns this like sentry gun mortar thing on every stage that helps you and basically just auto locks on enemies and shoots them, and it's like having a second person there killing enemies with you. There's a grenade mod that makes it so crystals rain down from the sky when you throw your grenade and it blows up. One of my favorite perks that I got in the beta is all you can eat, and that makes it so your ammo is not consumed for a short time after killing an enemy. So if you're accurate enough and you're killing enough enemies, you just don't have to reload and you can just spray things down. And there's still so many more perks. I didn't even get to play that much the first weekend, so there's tons of stuff I haven't seen yet. Now, I didn't just find this game by chance. I've been following the developer Noisestorm for his music since 2012, so I expected this game to have a great soundtrack and great sound design too to go along with it, and absolutely, it has not disappointed. I've been addicted to the music in this game, and the game's not even out yet. The soundtrack so far is just so good in this game, and even the soundtrack is still in a beta. The songs are not done, everything still needs to be polished, tweaked, it's still going to change. And beyond the soundtrack, the actual sound design of the hits, the gunshots, explosions, and general effects of the game, they're just crisp, satisfying, everything sounds great. I will absolutely be spending the extra $10 when this game comes out to buy the supporter edition that comes with the full soundtrack. And also, all the music that I've used in this video is part of the soundtrack. Now, as I mentioned, the game's currently in closed beta, If you signed up for beta access over the past few years, you may be able to get in prior to the early access release if you're lucky. If not, the game releases in early access on Steam April 1st, so you can just buy the game then if you'd like to support development. Now, when a developer hosts a beta for their game, a lot of times that can kind of be used or seen as just a glorified demo rather than an actual beta test. And that's definitely not the case here. Noisestorm is very active in the Discord. He's active in development every single day. All the beta testers are leaving feedback, discussion, bug reports, and everything is very much still in progress. So it's going to continue to change a lot until March, the very beginning of March, and then the beta is going to shut down for the last month. And that last month is just going to be used for polish and replacing assets and cleaning things up. This is also the reason why in this video I didn't touch too much on the enemies or the enemy types or balancing, because balancing literally changes every single day. There's still enemies that aren't even in the beta yet. There's a lot to be changed, a lot to be updated. So rather than kind of date this video by talking about things that are in the second beta test right now, I figured I would just leave that out, and it's going to change so much that I figured it wasn't really worth mentioning. But the feedback and development is just feeling great so far. So there is a bit of introduction to Crab Champions. I'm a massive fan of Risk of Rain 2. So when I saw that this game was slowly developing more and more into a roguelike, I got even more interested than I originally was. And I'm really excited with the direction that it's going. I can't wait to see how things get changed up before release, the final polish that gets on the game before early access comes out, and when everyone can finally play the game and I can play co-op with some more of my friends that will eventually buy it with me. But those are just some of my first impressions from playing the beta for the first week. I'm just eagerly awaiting Friday now so I can play it again. So if you've never heard of the game, I hope that introduced you to it. Maybe you'll consider checking it out when it comes out.